I'd been waiting to add an Arkham Asylum to my city for a while, and when I heard that that would be this year's superhero modular, I knew exactly what I wanted to do with it. And that was to create a full prison island compound like the Arkham Asylum video game. I explained in my Bridge and City expansion video my plan to create a C, which would be the corner area under my computer monitor or my open desk space, with Arkham Island taking up the majority of the space underneath the monitor. In my initial prep for the area, I was prioritizing keeping enough wood to fully support the hidden shelf behind my monitor that holds Barador, as well as visibility of the entire Barador model. That left me with 12 inches of clearance from the tabletop to the bottom of the TV. Before the Arkham set images were revealed, I designed an exterior of what I wanted my Arkham Island to look like, knowing I would make changes based on whatever the official one looked like. At the time, I kept my design to the 12-inch maximum allotted. When images of the actual set were released, there were some advantages and disadvantages to my model. Fortunately, I already had the general shape of the asylum, but unfortunately, mine was a very different color scheme. And I knew I definitely wanted to stick with the sand blue to give off that sort of nighttime vibe, just like in the game. I also thought the original color and trim design was too close to the look of last year's X Mansion. What I did like was the design of the opening gate and the cornered entrance in the central tower. So when I went to redesign my build, I did my best to copy that exactly. And here is the final design that I came up with. Since I only had a few images of the actual set for reference, I knew my central tower wasn't exactly right. I also wasn't sure how it was being attached. The geometry didn't work with the hinges, and if it were hinges, that wouldn't be enough space for these two wide slopes to fit. The solution I found that worked, at least in Bricklink Studio, were using bars and connecting them to clip pieces. I needed to get my parts order done weeks before the set came out, and I figured this was a good temporary fix to continue my build. And if it was wrong, I just copied what the real set was doing when I got it. And since I was doing a color swap, I would just add some extra small sand blue plates to the order to easily adjust to what was needed. As my build was going to leave me with a lot of what I believed to be dark orange after the color swap, I made my interior only walls that color. Again, with temporary parts in Bricklink Studio that would be replaced with whatever parts fit from the set. All these rock parts in the design are also temporary, as I have a ton of extra slopes lying around, so when I actually build it, I'm just going to use those instead, and I don't want to go through the time of matching it exactly digitally. The right wing of my Arkham, the Botanical Gardens, is a variant of the right wing of the Botanical Gardens set, using entirely pieces from it. I've had that set sitting in a box for a while with plans to make a smaller version of it anyways. The left wing is the Penitentiary, with its look based off of the one from the game, as well as the island forts that I grew up around in Maine. I looked at lots of reference images when deciding on the look of the exterior. Obviously, there was the Arkham Asylum video game. There were also many architectural elements that stood out to me from real asylums, more specifically Gothic-style asylums, that I made sure to include. One thing was that almost all of them had lots of dormer windows on the roof slope, as shown in these images. The awnings were also all very decorative too. While many real asylums had multiple towers, they are kind of a waste of usable space when translated to Lego, so I kept it at just the one. Just like the real-life Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum in West Virginia. I really like the look of the two front awnings on that building, so I gave my own ones a similar feel here. I also noticed most asylums were built of stone and had intricate stone trim of another color, like the Cork Lunatic Asylum in Ireland. Hence, my Arkham has these gray ingot pieces lining the sides. These pieces are great, with the bevel giving extra detail. They also have an open back, so they can be adjusted anywhere along the stud they are placed on, making for a simpler building process of the walls. Each story in my build fits exactly 5 of them vertically, which is 2 plates of flooring and then 7 bricks and 2 more plates in height. Luckily, the official set floors were coincidentally the exact same height as this too. Many asylums also had some type of bay window extruding out. I was already planning this with my original design, and it was another happy coincidence that the official set has these two side watchtower pieces that match the ones I needed. I wanted to make sure I used all the stickered pieces from the original in my build, hence why my roof here has two separate angled pieces. The steep ones match the ones in the set for the sticker pieces, and then the one brick ones close off the dormer windows at the top, because those are the only Lego slopes that have that inverted corner. Once I finished my final design, I started building the island base with all the slope pieces that I had. I also built the botanical gardens portion. That's when I ran into a problem. The wooden board at the bottom, which is shaped at an odd angle, again prioritizing this shelf, popped out too far in the back, forcing the Arkham build too far forward, with the top of the gardens pushing into the side of the bridge. My final design was also now a few inches too tall. As you can see here, it's 14.5 inches, and I only had the clearance of 12. So, I took some new measurements, took everything apart, made some more cuts to the boards, as well as 3 inches off the legs of the shelf. So, bar door would still fit, even if the bottom was a little bit covered up by the monitor now. I then put everything back together and raised the space up by 3 VHS tapes. I have a ton of these lying around that I got for free for a film project I did about a decade ago, and they make really great supports, as each tape is 1 inch thick. I now had more than enough room for the build to sit farther back, and a full 15 inches of clearance. Depending on the roof angles in the final build, I may also have to take off this lowest shelf board too, but I'll save it now and only do it if necessary. I then went back to the studio file and deleted all the parts I was able to build with my current inventory. After that, I exported my list to a Bricklink wanted list, and then deleted the elements that I knew were in the official set, and further deleted elements of all the other pieces that I already had. I bought these Spider-Man sets only for the minifigures, so this tiny Oscorp's lifespan was short-lived, as it got sorted into my Arkham piece bin. After sorting, I ordered a little over 5,000 pieces on LEGO's online Pick-a-Brick store, and about 1,000 more from Bricklink sellers that were not available on Pick-a-Brick. I really love this barbed wire piece, but sadly I had to abandon it, as it's apparently super rare and extremely expensive. When all my parts were in, I continued to build more, as I waited for the official Arkham set's release.